Gemini, happy November 2017. This is Dark Dove Tarot. Hope everybody is doing fantastic. I'm going to add a little more energy to the cards before we get started, but as you know, I always pre-shuffle. Again, hope you're doing wonderful coming to the end of this year. My reads are based on love, generally focused on singles. I do touch on reconciliation as well, but my main focus is anybody who's single or wondering about their love life, and there went half of my cards. This is a general read, so always make sure you check your sun, moon, and rising, as some months those will resonate with you more than other signs. Again, general. Hopefully it resonates with you, and hopefully, you know, you get some clarity and some things to take with you on your journey. Again, this is for love. I will touch base on anything if I see, you know, something big about money or finances or career or something like that. But again, generally it will be on love. All right. As you know, I move pretty fast. I have a lot to say. A lot I want to get out without taking up too much of your time. Any likes, subscribes, comments, etc. are appreciated. If you want a Dark Dove Tarot private reading, the directions are in the description below. And again, I like hearing from you guys. I'm doing these face down because last month I asked if you preferred them face down or face up, and everybody who commented or messaged me all said face down. So I guess the element of surprise is liked by everybody, not just me. So, all right, we'll get started here in a second. I want to pull your theme of the month card. Let's see. Just want to make sure you can see everything. All right, Gemini, let's do this. Let me shuffle these other cards, pull the theme of the month, and we'll get moving. As you know, I move pretty fast. I have a lot to say and a lot I want to get out without taking up too much of your time, which is generally why I choose not to shuffle on camera, because I like to spend a little more time going through the cards. Okay, so your theme of the month is temperance. Patience, 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 everything in moderation, balance, compromising. So that's actually not a bad theme of the month to have, Gemini, because that means either you're patiently waiting for somebody amazing to come in your life, somebody who has been in your life to come back. It also means you're in like a very steady spot right now, very balanced spot. Okay, so coming into the month, you have the Emperor. So this is your current position coming into November. And the Emperor, if you're single, is somebody who is looking for something traditional. So immediately, Gemini, this tells me you're marriage-minded, you want kids, you want pets, you want, you know, the white picket fence. That's traditional when I think of traditional. However, things have changed, right? So it could be anything that you think of that's traditional, or anything that's, you know, been in your family for generations, or even creating something. Some of you may even be wanting to create your own traditions, but you want something. This goes along beautifully with temperance, because this says you want something balanced in your life. You want something, no chaos, no drama. And I'm not saying that anybody wants drama, but you're very even-keeled. The Emperor is saying, look, I'm going to find somebody amazing, but there are certain things that, this is also like very, not scheduled. I keep thinking of like a task list, and that's not either, but it's been well thought out. It's almost like you have a routine. Some of you have like an exact routine. You get up at the same time, you go to work every day, you maybe work out on these days, or you meet friends on these days, or you know, certain activities, certain times of the month, and or week or day or whatever. And so this kind of feels like you're feeling very structured, like you finally, I feel like some of you are breathing the sigh of relief, going, okay, I have my stuff together. I'm looking for somebody who has their stuff together. And I don't think that you're having a hard time finding people to date, Gemini. If you're single, in fact, I feel like there may be one or two people you've kind of honed in on. and there's somebody like scratching in the back of my mind that's like really focused on you. And it's not that you don't feel worthy, but I have this like, there's somebody or a few of you out there who are like, okay, I'm finally at the place where I think I could keep up with him or her. Or I'm finally at the place where like I feel like I'm on the same playing field. So some of you maybe have felt like you weren't grown up. Like you had a lot of things to take care of. Maybe, you know, your bank account was always overdrawn. You know, everybody's been there, done that. Maybe you're, you know, you wanted to finally own your own place and you got to that place. And maybe it's something you need to do, Gemini, yourself in order to manifest what you want, right? In order to get what you want, you realized you had to, what you were looking for is what you needed to structure in your own life. And that doesn't always, it's never going to be perfect, right? Just because you're structured, you may meet somebody who's got all sorts of loose ends, but you can't help who you fall in love with. And vice versa. You may be working on it, but you're not quite there, but you're finally feeling like some things are in place. So you're feeling like the people you're going to meet are going to represent that. And my cat decided she was going to make an appearance. So I'm not sure if you saw her, but it's the first time that's happened while I filmed. So apparently she, you know, had some things to say or wanted to get her own point across that, you know, she kind of rules the manor, I guess. Anyway, so sorry about that. But this is definitely somebody who, you're just, it's like you're coming into you. You realize that what you put in the universe is what you're going to get back. And you're paying attention to that. And you're being really smart about it. If you're looking to reconcile, I get the feeling this, in the sense for you, is that either one of you is ready for marriage and the other one wasn't. One of you really wants kids, the other one doesn't. It's almost like you're moving in two different directions. I also feel like maybe this person is older than you, and so they kind of make you feel like a child, or they make you feel like you're not doing things right. Almost like they're your boss. They're not your boss. I'm not saying that. I mean, some of you could be dating your boss, but more like you feel like, hey, you know, I can handle my own. I just want to be in a relationship with you. I don't need you telling me what to do, or I don't need you making me feel bad about decisions I make. So some of you who are looking to reconcile, maybe you had to cut this person off for a little while because, and some of it could be like, they were like controlling everything, like needed your passwords to everything, watched your every move, where are you going, what are you doing, almost like a possessive, and you had to kind of, you know, loosen that grip. But for a majority of you, I feel like you just weren't on the same playing field. Like you wanted one thing, they wanted something different. And I also, for some of you, this person almost felt like they were better than you. Like, oh, the grass is greener somewhere else, or hey, I make more money than you, or I have a better job than you, or I have a better education. And you just didn't feel good about yourself. So even though you love them and you care about them and you have this connection, like, you know that in order to be better yourself, either they need to change, or maybe you need to find somebody who makes you feel better, who compliments you. The next card you have is any internal factors coming into the month. So anything that kind of helps or hinders your current position. And Gemini, you have the 3 of coins or pentacles. And this is about, so this is what you're kind of wanting coming into the month. And this is kind of the current position you're in. So if you're single, this is saying you want to meet somebody. These mesh very well. Because the 3 is about accomplishing things as a team. So you're basically looking for your partner, like your life partner. So now that you're dating, you're not like dealing with anybody who throws any red flags your way, anybody who just doesn't seem to fit what you're looking for. Before maybe you would have like kind of tiptoed around, you didn't want to hurt their feelings. You know, it's hard because we all go through this period of trying to please people. But then when you're dating, it's so hard because you're not a match with everybody and they're not a match with you. So I feel like Gemini, you kind of had a hard time not giving everybody a chance. And now you're kind of going, no, like I want the perfect teammate. I want a friend. These aren't like lustful cards. These are like partnership cards. These are somebody to be there through thick and thin, somebody to grow old with, somebody where, you know, if I'm seriously ill or have a tragedy or get in an accident or something, this is like my rock. and you want to be that person's rock too. So very good energy, Gemini, because it's loving, but in a way that's like concrete and not the whimsical, you know, butterfly, which is not always a bad thing. It doesn't always have to be butterfly and roses to be a positive mindset. If you're looking to reconcile, it's very similar, because this is you. This card is about satisfaction as well. And somewhere along the line, you weren't feeling satisfied at all. Like, I feel like some of you were almost like, ugh, I have to see he or she again, or you lived with them or whatever. And it was almost like misery going home to them or being around them. And you just started seeing a side of them that you kind of wish you hadn't seen. And you really want the teamwork, which is interesting, because that goes along with this person that I'm talking about, who is maybe putting you down or making you feel like you weren't a team, like it was a competition, like, again, this not good enough feeling. And so, you know, you had to take a break. What else could you do? The next card you have is your distant past. So over the past, you know, few years, could be 10 years, it could be your childhood, which is very interesting. She has been showing up, I think she showed up in my first 2 reads too. And normally maybe 1 or 2 signs get this card, but she seems to be coming around a lot. So I'm happy for you, Gemini, though, that, not happy that you pulled this card necessarily, but that it's in your distant past, because when I see it in other parts of the read, it makes me a little nervous on the placement of it. This is the 3 of Swords, and that's heartbreak, pain, despair. Anytime I see this card in that past, it makes me want to hug you. Like, it literally, it's that chest pain, deep breath, overwhelming feeling. I always read this card for singles and anybody looking to reconcile together. And it is this deep-seated, when I get this card, I feel like I can't breathe, like I'm choked up, because this is pain in the ultimate sense of pain. So this is having loved and lost on a deeper level. Now, everybody could say that they've been through that, but the reason that I read the past card, and I don't know about other readers, but I'm pretty sure it's probably similar, is because there's certain things that you need to remember from your past to not repeat, or certain things you need to remember to bring forth again and manifest. So it's about pulling out the good and kind of leaving the bad, but never forgetting it so you don't repeat those things. And this is kind of saying, okay, I know that you're coming in like strong, and you're going to find this person, and you know what you want, but this is also saying, you know, don't be afraid to open up your heart a little bit. So you might be approaching things with this very organized, very dutiful outlook, which again is not a negative thing at all. But this is a reminder that because you've had heartbreak in the past and you've survived, and sometimes it takes us a while to get over it. I mean, you know, that heartbreak when you just don't know if you can get out of bed, you don't know if you can eat, you don't know if you can even taste your food. It's that type of heartbreak. And some of you are fearing that type of heartbreak. You don't want it again. And you're like hesitating on being too heartfelt or wearing your heart on your sleeve, so to speak. And this is kind of a reminder. It's okay to do this. It's important to do this. But if you've gotten over it in the past in love and heartbreak, we wouldn't continue to do it if the love wasn't so good, right? We wouldn't continue to love each other or love other people or want to be with other people or have that passion or those relationships if at some point it wasn't worth it. So this is just kind of a reminder that even though you're cautious about it, you know, at some point you have to kind of take that wall down around your heart little by little. The next card you have is your immediate past. So over the past, you know, few weeks, past month or two, and you have the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups is, this is actually interesting because this is whimsy and dreaming and fanciful. So this tells me if you're single, maybe really it feels like maybe the past few months you've met people and you thought it was going to be great and they were telling you things that you wanted to hear, and then it was like, whoa, it's not. They're not being open and honest with me. They're not being clear on what they want. And it's like, I always say, right, a lot of times in my reads that I've been told this one thing and I've learned from it, and I try to do it, and I'm not perfect at it, but it's that you have to pay attention to people, what people are telling you, but not what they're saying. So they could tell you a million things, but people will tell you more about themselves and their actions, right? It goes along with actions speak louder than words, but there's a lot more to it. And so I feel like some of you almost have like this, you were like sandbagged, like you were dating one or two people and you thought, hey, these are great people, and then like it fizzled or it didn't work out, or it turns out they're dating a bunch of people, or it turns out they just wanted sex, or they just wanted, you know, and so you're kind of feeling like, okay, like I'm paying attention. I've got your number. I've got you figured out. So you're dating, and I don't think Gemini has a lack of suitors at all. You're just being very careful, because somewhere in the past few weeks, past month or two, it's like you were getting excited about it, you were feeling romantic, and you just kind of were getting that letdown feeling. That's why your guard is back up again, because you're just kind of like, this is ridiculous. And dating nowadays can be very ridiculous. We all know my stance on that. Been there, done that, still been there, still done that. So, you know, just be careful. I mean, you can't let, it's a numbers game. It really is. You just got to date until it feels right and it feels comfortable. But it's hard, right? Because we all want to put up like a wall and protect ourselves at the same time. So just be careful of putting up the wall too much or being too methodical in exactly what you need. Like, again, that task list or that checkoff list. If you're looking to reconcile, it seems like maybe they got in contact with you, or you thought there was something that would change because you were feeling that butterfly feeling again, or hey, you know, maybe they came back and romanced you a little bit and told you things would change. But I just get the feeling that it was more, their actions were not speaking louder. And so that's why you're coming here going, there's, I don't know. Like, it's like you don't trust it. You're feeling more like it's a game, or you're being manipulated, instead of it actually being honest to goodness, genuine, come back with the forthright, you know, like the intention to change is maybe not there like they're saying it is. The next card you have is your distant future. So over the next few months through the end of the year. And you have the Page of Cups. So this is telling me that if you're single, the page is like innocent, emotional. This is the next few months, you will be opening your heart up again, but things might be very emotional. Some of you had some intense breakups, and some of you have had some intense dating. People that you really thought would go into any, you know, that would grow into something, and maybe you were ghosted or breadcrumbed or whatever the fancy words are for all this crap we have to deal with when we're dating. But this is saying, the page is saying, you're going to approach it almost like an innocence. Whatever relationships you had in the past that you felt damaged from, or whatever, you know, even if it was like watching parents get divorced or abused or whatever, it's like the page is saying that you're beginning again. The page is saying that you're going to reopen your life to love. And I think it might be because of a particular person who comes in, but it's all about patience, and it's about compromising, and it's about balance. And the page says that you're deciding to do it almost childlike, almost from day one, like you've never dated before. And that may be what you need to do to manifest the one that you want, or to bring in the one you want. Or you might just need to get giddy and laugh and joke around and have fun with it. It feels very stern, Gemini. You're coming into this month very, you know, guarded. And I think that you're going to let loose, and you're going to, I don't know, and kids come into play here too. So maybe you're, you know, single parents, and over the holidays you get to spend more time with your kids, and that's going to kind of remind you, you know, about how important it is to love people and have people that you love in your life. And you may just be focusing on, you know, finding somebody who is a little more family oriented, somebody who wants kids in this, because this is also, and it could be too that you like are going to meet somebody in the next little bit, and you're going to be pregnant, or you're going to decide to have kids, or you're going to have like a conjoined family. So a lot of possibilities with the page, but they're very different energies. So your energy is going to shift over the next few months into a more just relaxed energy. This month is going to be about learning how to be more like that, learning how to balance the traditional, the you know, the directional type energy to be more of a, like, you know, enjoying the little things, enjoying ice cream, enjoying things that maybe you forgot what it was like to have that or to do that, right? Because we do so many things that we get, like, it becomes like monotone. And I think you're going to start, you know, it's like they say, stop and smell the roses, but it's going to be bigger than that. It's going to be enjoying things more, even your kids more, or even your pets more, where all of a sudden you're going to have that heart-swelling appreciation. And as parents, or even pet parents or whatever, it's easy to just get in the daily ho-hum of things. But don't you know what I mean? Those moments when you look at your child or children or pets or family members or friends, and you're just like, man, I am freaking blessed to have you in my life. And you just get that overwhelming heart swell. That's what you have to look forward to, Gemini. I don't know if it's the one, but that's the energy you have to look forward to over the next month or two. If you're looking to reconcile, this is like very emotional. So this person, I feel like they're going to play with your emotions a little bit. So you've got to be careful, and you've got to be careful with kids involved, because some of you have kids involved. Maybe there was a separation, you're not living together either, or you may just be focusing on the kids. So if you guys were together and you had like a conjoined family, you're going to make sure to keep in contact with those kids, even if you and the ex cannot reconcile, or even if you guys aren't getting along. This is about making sure that that part is taken care of, the family's taken care of. You know, that's most important. You can't let the fight and whatnot get in the way of any relationships you may have built with kids, or maybe your ex has built with your kids, or you may be pregnant and you may be feeling very emotional about it, and you're going to have to make some major decisions regarding that. It could be too, though, that if it was the breakup of because one of you wanted marriage and one of you didn't, or one of you wanted kids or one of you didn't, you come together and make the decision together to have those things. The next card you have is your immediate future, so throughout the month of November, and you have the World. All right, so you're loosening up already towards the, you know, middle end of the month, Gemini, because the World is an excellent card. This is all about you controlling your destiny. This is about accomplishing what you want, feeling like you belong in something, feeling fulfilled. So who is this person you're going to meet, Gemini? Because either you've met them, maybe it's somebody you've been skeptical about, maybe that's why your guard's up. You could be dating this person and they seemed like a flight risk. They seem like grass is always greener, or maybe they don't, maybe it's the opposite here. You know, they don't have as good of a job as you do. There's some sort of conflict here. So if you have met this person that you really care about, you're almost feeling like, hey, we've got to get things structured. We both got to be on the same page. But I think that the belonging and feeling that connection is going to overpower anything that could come in the way. I don't think that you're completely convinced that this person is like the perfect fit for you, because either they're lacking some things that are really important to you, or you feel like you're not up to par with them. But I feel like it's in your head or in their head. You're like, you guys are creating that distance or that burden that doesn't need to be there. So, you know, over the next month of November, practice this balance, compromise, patience. Make sure that you really, you know, take a look at that. You know, moderation, because the world is saying, look, I'm here for the taking. I'm here to connect you two. If you really belong together, it's going to happen, but you have to will it too, and you have to do certain things to make it happen as well. This is about accomplishing things and making it happen, and you want that teamwork. So either you have met this person or you're going to meet them soon, and it's completion too. So I strongly feel this is completion out of the dating world. Like, this is going to be completing the dating cycle, and whoever you meet is going to kind of take you out of dating. Maybe not right away. It's not like you're getting married or anything, but you might like change your Facebook status to complicated or in a relationship or whatever. I don't know. Whatever you feel like moves you out of the dating world, but not to like marriage and, you know, tattooing each other's names on your body. So if you're looking to reconcile, this is either you complete the cycle with this person and you decide that the world is your oyster and you're going to go any direction you want and you're going to completely change, because this is the end of the major cycle of the major arcana, right? So if you end this cycle with the other person, then the world is kind of open to whatever you want and whatever you desire. However, if you have that connection with this person and you really want it to work, this is saying, okay, over the next few weeks, again, I cannot harp on temperance enough. Balance, compromise, moderation. You guys are going to have to compromise on things. You're going to have to communicate, and you're going to, if you do this, then you'll have a much more fulfilling relationship if you choose to get back together. There will also be a bigger sense of belonging, because here I said one of you is feeling like you're not good enough, or the other person's making you feel that way, or vice versa. And this is going to be more of an equalized. You may find that because your partner's making you feel like they're on a different page than you may find that the reason they do that is they're feeling insecure about your successes. Or maybe if they're really good with finances, you're really good with people and making friends, and they're not. So somewhere there's like a miscommunication that if you guys get back in touch with each other, and I feel like at some point you were back in touch because of this Knight of Cups, but now maybe you're back out of touch again, or you're going back and forth. So we'll see. The next card you have is any future external factors, so anything tangible that's going to happen throughout the month of November. And you have the Nine of Coins or Pentacles. So this is about anything that could happen 10 times during the month of November, one time. You know, it could be in the beginning, middle, or end. So if you're single, the Nine of Coins is about satisfaction and accomplishment as well. So these go very well together, your immediate future and this to bring you this. So this is going to be like, okay, this work you put into dating, this knowing when to let your heart in and your emotion in, and knowing when to bring it back to reality, is going to serve a big purpose. Because somewhere here, whether it's you, like I said, you getting a job you wanted or increasing your finances, there's some sort of thing, and it could be many things that you're going to accomplish that are going to push you into the realm of just feeling that much better about yourself, feeling like you're successful, feeling like you're abundant. And I think, again, it's very important that you open the heart energy, but you seem to be knowing when to play it, right? Because here you're like an abundance of heart, and then here you're a little more down to earth, you know, less whimsical. And I think that's going to help you here, because throughout the month of November, I think you're going to see that if you open your emotions at the right time to this person, or you pull them back at the right time, it's kind of like a song and dance you guys are going to do together. Now, I don't know if you're going to meet this person in November or, you know, by the end of the year, but there's somebody here who's, it's almost like they're throwing you off. But these two cards are saying, even still, you're going to be successful. And even if it's just successful at meeting one or two people that have that future potential, you're definitely going to find them. I do have to say, though, that you have Pentacles and you have water. So you definitely have earth or water signs showing up here. You do have sword energy, which is air, but that's in the past. So you may be dealing with, you know, earth, or you may be dealing with a water sign. All right, the next card, oh, sorry. I forgot to, if you're looking to reconcile, the immediate thing with this is that it's some sort of satisfaction. Again, it's like an abundance. I don't know. Is somebody pregnant? Somebody's pregnant, or something is coming in, or I don't know. It's hard to explain this feeling I'm getting. It's like, or like you're going to adopt. Somebody's bringing a child in or bringing children in. And I think it's going to be with this person that you're very connected with, or that you're worried about. I kind of feel like maybe it's been off and on before. Like you guys have broken up, gotten back together, broken up, gotten back together. And now this is more of like a serious card. This is more of like you're moving on to the next stage of your life. I cannot get over this vibe of like kids, I don't know, or maybe even pets. Maybe it's like the first step of you guys reconciling is getting a pet, like getting a dog or a cat or whatever animal you want, and kind of deciding on whether that would work for you as well. Because again, somewhere there's like this doubt that you guys could do it and see it through all the way. But I think the possibility's there, although it's not this like, you're still annoyed, like extremely annoyed, but throughout November, it's going to like fluctuate. The next card you have is any internal factors. So anything you're going to feel throughout the month of November. And you have the Ace of Coins or Pentacles. Again, you've got Earth showing up everywhere here. If you're single, the Ace of Coins is potential, beginnings, opportunity. So you are going to meet this one. Again, I don't know if it's November, but you're definitely going to meet somebody because this is potential and it's a beginning. And it's interesting, like I said, this completion here is getting off of the dating site, getting out of there. So the Ace says, hey, it's beginning and you want this. This is you internally. This is you seeing that prosperity with this potential partner. You may meet one or two this month, but somebody, like it's going to either the universe is going to narrow it down to one person or you're going to narrow it down to one person. But this absolutely acknowledges this potential person. And it's going to be opportunity too. It's not just like dating. They're going to open your eyes to new things. Maybe traveling more. Maybe if you've been kind of staunch about work and finances or whatever, they're like helping you open up to get to this like free emotional state again, because you've been locking up because of this. So again, it's either earth or water at this point. So it's either Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, or Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. So definitely a lot of that energy coming in here. All right. If you're looking to reconcile, this is beginnings as well. So either you're going to cut your losses and run right here, completing the cycle, getting out of that relationship and deciding that the world has more to offer for you. Because this is about beginnings, but this is also about new beginnings with your partner, your ex. So this is about potential, but potential in getting what you want if you guys are on the same page. So I feel like, Gemini, it's very up in the air. It's very 50-50. Sometimes I get that with signs. Sometimes it's either, yes, you're going to get back together, or no, you're not. But a lot of times it can go either way. This one I feel like is going more towards you're going to get back together, but you guys kind of have to get over your own selves, if that makes sense. The next two cards you have are your hopes and fears for the outcome of the month of November. You have Justice and your actual outcome for the month of November. And you have the Knight of Pentacles. Again, you've got Earth all over this reading. So Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. Very possible that's somebody you're dealing with. Justice. All right, Justice is about causes and effect. So if you're single, the universe is the way you're going to get it back. This is also about absolutes. So I think you're going to make an absolute decision on somebody you want to date or see. And it's like you've weighed both sides. This is also a marriage card, by the way. So this is somebody who has marriage potential, because here's your potential cards. And this is new beginning, completing a cycle. Now you're moving into the non-single cycle. So again, it may not happen in November, but it's coming very soon. And this is, you are like absolutely sure. This person is almost like your twin morality flame, if that makes sense. Like their beliefs are right along with yours. No, you guys are not exactly the same, but people you've been dating, again, are flimsy, flaky, or not very genuine, or haven't been nice, and you're kind of like, hey, I'm a nice person, I'm a good person, I'm here to meet somebody good, and this person you're going to meet is extremely genuine. I keep saying going to, because I feel like for a majority of you haven't, and that's what November is about, being patient and calm and figuring it out, and then finding the person and knowing what type of cause and effect they have on your life, and how they would fit into your life, and what effect that would have on your kids, your pets, your family, or even if you're, single and you don't have that, and it's not something you even want, this person is on the same wavelength. It's not like you're going to meet some guy or girl who's like, yeah, I have 5 kids, and you're like, whoa, I don't want kids. You know what I mean? So it's going to kind of ebb and flow very well. If you're looking to reconcile, this is saying, whatever you choose to do and however you choose to approach this situation is going to, it's going to be an absolute as well. So if you choose to work it out with this person, do the best you can, you know, make sure you guys communicate and change certain things about yourself and things about them, but you have to be open with each other and discuss it, then there's a very good chance you could reconcile. If you don't, and you guys point fingers or play the blame game, then it's a very good chance you're not going to reconcile. And I feel like some of you, the reason this is so 50-50 is because you don't know. You don't know if you want to be with this person. You almost feel like they made you feel so bad that there's resentment here that you may never come back from. And if that's the case, complete the cycle and move on. The next card you have, like I said, is the outcome. It's the Knight of Pentacles, or coins. And this is somebody who's very hardworking, who's very cautious, but very dutiful. So if you're single, you're going to take kind of baby steps in getting to know this person. You're going to be cautious about it, but you're going to be very tuned in. So not only are you going to be cautious with your own feelings, but you're going to be cautious with their feelings. It's almost like you're paying more attention than ever to making them a better person, but also making sure that you're the best person you can be. So I'm shuffling these cards now because I'm going to pull 2 clarifying cards. But this says, Gemini, if you're single, that the Knight is saying, look, I'm going to work hard at this relationship if you give me a chance. And you already know that this person is going to work hard at the relationship as well. So you're showing up at the end of November as, you know, hey, I'm here to work on this. Nothing's ever perfect. Love isn't always perfect. It's not always going to be easy. But if you give me the chance, I will work at it. And I will be there. And I will be your partner. And this person you already know is on that same wavelength with you. Even like morals, even, you know, just kind of soul energy. So you're just kind of telling them, this is what I have to offer. And in return, they're going to show you what they have to offer. If you're looking to reconcile, you are, I think, a decision will not be made on reconciliation throughout November or in the end. I think you're going to be working very hard on your relationship if you choose to reconcile. You're also going to be taking your mind off of things by working, kind of nose to the grind, being very dutiful, very methodical with work, projects, you know, with kids, family, whatever. You're going to be putting your energy into other things. And you're going to kind of note, like, I feel like you're going to be paying attention. Any conversations you have or interactions you have with your ex, you're going to be paying very close attention to how you feel. Like, how do I feel when I talk to them? Do I feel miserable? Does my stomach turn? Do I feel like I'm walking on eggshells? Or am I excited to see if I'm ever going to be able to hold their hand again? Or do I get those butterfly feelings in my stomach that I might be able to have something good again with them? So again, kind of a toss-up. Let's see what the clarifiers have to say. All right, so clarifying your outcome of the month is the Knight of Wands, and clarifying your distant future is the Sun. The Sun is one of the best cards you can pull in the deck, in my opinion. All right, so clarifying the outcome is the Knight of Wands. This is somebody who's charming. If you're single, you're going to be a charmer by the end of the month. Even though you're coming in here kind of in this like very focused energy, you're going to be charming the socks off of somebody. They're going to be charming the socks off of you, maybe even pants. But the Knight of Wands, it's going to be, you're going to have this confidence, but you're going to feed off of each other. Like I said, this Justice is saying, look, you're very balanced. Temperance is saying very balanced. You're going to feel like when you're serious, they're going to get you to laugh and make you feel giddy again. If, you know, they're in a spot where maybe they're not feeling very happy or they're going through something, you're going to figure out a way to kind of push each other's buttons, but in a good way. Now, sometimes you'll push them in the bad way, but hopefully that's more in the future. But again, this is somebody who's taking a risk on somebody and allowing their heart to open a little more and a little more and a little more over time. Again, it's not going to happen immediately, but I think by the end of the year, you're going to be on a long distance path. If you're looking to reconcile, you may, I think that you're going to feel a revitalized energy with your ex or that connection. this is somebody who's coming into it, being daring. So if maybe you thought it wouldn't work or you weren't willing to give it another chance, you might be deciding, hey, you know what? I'm going to approach this in a totally different direction. I'm just going to be super sweet and super loving and super attentive. And if it works, it's great. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. Hold on just a minute. Sorry, my neighbor just knocked on the door. Okay, so again, this night is you kind of feeling a little more attentive to this person. So maybe you had some hurt feelings. Maybe you were feeling like you weren't good enough, but I think you might find out that some of that was your own insecurity. Now, I know some of you are going to message me and say, hey, no, it wasn't my own insecurity. No, you know, I did nothing wrong. And that's fine, right? It always takes two to tango. And yes, oftentimes there's one person who's to blame more than the other person. But you may find that they charm you, that they come in and they're going to approach it differently. And now I'm starting to feel like the reconciliation is pretty positive because I just got that warm sensation in your stomach, kind of where you get that like gut reaction that you know something feels good. So something about maybe the way they're going to approach you or the way they're going to come back in the beginning or in the middle, I feel like it may not be that easy, or you may be like, come back again, try again. Somewhere along the line, there's going to be like a gesture. I don't know. And it might even be like a grand gesture. I don't know. Like an engagement ring for Thanksgiving or Christmas or I don't know. Something that you're absolutely going to feel like you can take them seriously. Now with the sun, if you're single, this is all about seeing things in the future. This is about farsightedness. This is about being self-aware, having inspiration, having hope, and just everything I can see clearly now, so to speak. So the sun on top of the page is saying this is a childlike innocence, and it could be kids. It could be, you know, deciding that you're going to get married and have kids, or maybe, you know, whatever it is, you're going to have a conjoined family. But the sun is, again, one of my favorite cards because this is inspiration for everything great. This is a warm energy. This is a comforting energy. So if you're single, this says, look, you're looking into the future. By the end of this year, you're making plans and you've got some goals, and you're setting them, and you can see it, and you can see it together. And very interesting, you get the sun on top of the page because this is like, I don't know. There's something going on with babies in your read. Gemini, somebody's pregnant, somebody's going to get pregnant, somebody's going to decide to have kids, something's going on here. If you're looking to reconcile, it could be that too. It could be that, I don't know, you find out you're pregnant, or you decide you couldn't imagine having kids with anybody else but this person. There's something very positive here. At the end of the day, if you're looking to reconcile, the sun is hope. So that is what you're going to get. You're going to have some sort of hope or inspiration that things could work out. I kept saying 50-50, and then it's like, boom, something in it changed, something in even like the temperature of my body changed, which went to like a warmth, which is a more positive energy towards the chance of reconciliation. Not that there's not work here, and not that you are not ticked off. Some of you are annoyed, and you're going to be like, Dark Dove, like, give me a break. But, hey, you're watching it. You obviously still have a connection. You're obviously still thinking. All right. Thanks, Gemini. Have a great November. I'll see you soon.